Hey there everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your host Prickly Hedgehog. Thanks for tuning in for another weekly update about DCS World. And this week's update, of course, is delayed because I got a few days away to do some R&R and just spend some time with the family and some fishing. And yes, I had some internet. I was able to check on some things, posted a few bits and pieces to do with Razbam, but I wasn't able to get a video out. I didn't bring that technology with me, unfortunately. So here it is today. So let's get into the news, and it's going to be focused on the F-16, as most of you have probably already seen if you were aware of this week's update. Couple of things. Lots of little changes for the Viper, but also kind of a interaction with the direction of the Viper from Eagle Dynamics, and it was kind of a cool way to do this. They produced a survey and they went through the different things that they are working on to get this jet complete, and they've asked you to rate what you think is the most important thing for you so that they can kind of fine-tune the way in which they're spending energy on this aircraft to bring it up to speed. Now, some of the stuff, of course, is less critical. Say, for example, I don't know, the flight control bit test when the control surfaces of the aircraft move. Now, I like those little things because I think they add to the immersive nature of the flight experience, but of course they're not critical if you've got other issues with, say, the flight model in general, which was also part of the survey, including not just the aircraft in flight, but also during critical components of a flight journey, including landing and takeoff. So there's, lots of different stuff. We're talking air-to-ground missiles like the Maverick, which is a popular weapon, and a lot of people have asked about this, and other air-to-ground weapons that I think would be very helpful for this aircraft as it slots itself into a truly multi-role kind of fighter for the game, especially with the upcoming Syrian map and the potential for more campaigns and missions and user files related to that content, which I think is important. So yeah, if you haven't taken the survey and you own the F-16, or you're interested in seeing it come to, some sort of final guise in the game in the near future, I probably shouldn't say near future, in the distant future, yeah, take the survey and lend your weight to it, and help Eagle Dynamics and the rest of us enjoy this product in a fruitful way. So let's get back to the development report here on the Viper itself and what they're working on right now. They're working on new features and tuning existing ones. These are as follows, but are not limited to the following. The air-to-ground missile 65D and G, the Maverick, the EO visual, the EO bore, the EO sub-mode selectors have been added to the SMS pages. Maverick weapons selection functionality has been added. The power and warm-up timer functions have been added. The lightning targeting pod, the video feed has been adjusted, video image brightness has been adjusted, the design specification has been completed and includes cursor 0, new HOTOS commands and new TGP symbology, control page, air-to-air mode, and much more. This is good stuff. Remaining HOTOS commands for track modes and cursor slew, cursor 0 are in progress. The AGM-88C HARM, we are currently working on the SMS WPN and DED pages, as well as the HARM as a sensor mode, or HAS. Liveries, this is also good news. In cooperation with several talented community members, highly accurate liveries for the Israeli, Turkish, and United States Air Forces are being finalized. We hope this will be appreciated for all of you who are interested in developing and flying missions in DCS Syria. Good news there. The flight dynamics. Several subject matter experts are involved in further improvements to the flight model and flight control system. This will provide substantial accuracy enhancements, and we look forward to your feedback. In other words, I would imagine they've been talking to some pilots who have been giving their feedback about how that functions. That's a guess, of course, but I would imagine that's likely. But, with an aircraft like this, a lot of stuff is going to be behind closed doors. Moving on, additionally, there is a white paper that has been prepared that describes some of the basics of our flight model. Now, this is an interesting little PDF that you can download. If you are kind of a math geek and you're interested in how they achieve their flight model, then the way in which they use sources to achieve a high level of accuracy in the simulation, then it's probably worth looking at. It's a little bit beyond my fifth form math experiences. Well, that's enough said about that. F-18 Hornet, there's a new campaign, as mentioned in some of my posts on the YouTube channel. The Hornet The Serpent's Head 2 Hornet campaign is out. It is purchasable for around about $10. It's produced by Badger 633. I wonder if that is it 633 Squadron? That's the Mosquito Squadron? I think it is, isn't it? Isn't that? It's kind of cool. All right. I digress. Anyway, it comprises the next chapter of 6 previous Serpent's Head missions released earlier. That is freely available in the DCS user files. And then you can download the purchasable from the eShop, of course. And the F-16C Sabre, that is available on Steam, and I had some positive feedback from some of you that owned that particular aircraft and have enjoyed that particular campaign. So good stuff there. Let's go to the changelog real quickly on different things that they're working on. Just some highlights here. I'm not going to go through all of these, but a lot of you were very positive about Avio Dev over the last week or so with some of the videos about third-party developers, and rated Avio Dev's aircraft as a really good experience. And I talked about it having some pretty good tutorial missions. So again, I'll plug it here, but lots of changes here. Actually, probably the largest number of changes out of all of the listed ones here in the changelog. There was manuals added in English for the Thunderbolt, as well as Russian, and also Russian for the F-18C Hornet. The Black Shark had its flares fixed so that they were not shooting in front or forward. The VR controllers were going backwards for the 18C Warthog. That's been corrected, and also an autopilot fix. The Tomcat by Heatblower, they've fixed the broken normals on the NACA vents on the engine nacelles. They've fixed the boxy halo around the afterburners, which were visible at night. They've increased the strength of the landing taxi light. I don't imagine this will help you much for Case 3 landings, if that's what you were expecting. And they've also corrected the countermeasures resistance for AIM-54 missiles. All right. The Supercarrier Nimitz class has updated its geometry and texture of lights. The iFlaws lights attached to the model. The Ali Burke updated geometry and textures. Nice. So a couple of campaigns have received some love here. The Memory of the Hero campaign by Stone Sky. Mission 4 has been fixed. The cruiser Moscow destroys the first target before you even take off, which isn't helpful. And then the Huey and the Worlds Apart Spring 2025 campaign by Low Level Heaven. Mission 4, the fixed pathfinding issues have been corrected. So, not a huge changelog for this past week. Remember, as I have said previously, Eagle Dynamics is doing a lot of work on fixing bugs for DCS World, and I know that a lot of you have already expressed extreme positivity about this, that these bugs need to be squashed and fixed. So we'd rather have that than just random, bits and pieces being inserted into the game that may or may not be ready. So the overall feedback that I'm getting is, yeah, keep squashing these bugs so that the game is playable. I know some of you have already talked about improvements in frame rate, so on and so forth. So that's a positive thing to see. I think we can wrap this video up here this week as a fairly short one, but a positive one. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I certainly did. Yeah, this is Prickly Hedgehog out for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, I hope to see you all out there at some point flying. Don't forget to carry on flying. And, of course, like and subscribe to the channel. It costs you nothing, but it keeps the channel chugging along. So, there you have it. We'll see you around, guys. Prickly Hedgehog out.